Who's starting the lobby?
Oh, I am doing all the invites and everything like that. 1 second.
Alright, too easy. Just let me know. I'm all tapped at the moment, so.
Alright, invite Blazin, Voxel,
Cool.
Vicarian.
Yep. See it.
Oh shit, I pressed the wrong one. Can you resend?
Vicarian.
What?
No, nothing. I'm just reading out the names.
Yeah, okay.
Who am I missing?
Yeah, I accidentally pressed the wrong bracket. Sorry. Can you resend? Blazing. Cheers.
Right, it should be in there.
Is it FPS Maverick? No underscore anything?
No, just straight FPS Maverick.
And you have added me, Malogos.
Yeah.
Might need to restart.
Showed you as online when I added it.
Yeah,
me?
Yeah.
but it only shows
Me.
one side online if you add people while you're.
You hit the refresh button, Malgus?
Yeah, I did, and it didn't change status on him.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to restart.
I'm gonna restart.
There it goes. Okay. All right. So does anyone need me to like go over the rules or anything like that? Because there's a timer in squad battle, like when things are kind of going, it's a little bit tricky. Every round's supposed to be about 5 minutes long. So if there's like, if you guys are doing them in 3 and you don't seem to be minding the timer, then that's fine. But otherwise, like if there's less than 5 minutes left in a squad on the clock, just stop. And also because of that, before I launch, I'm gonna give you guys some time to talk about strategy and stuff like that. If you haven't yet. A lot of times, like we'll go into when it's a free fight tournament, we go in and people like sit around for 5 minutes and kind of talk strategy. So just like do that now before I actually launch. And then you guys are clear on everything else.
I think we're good.
We good?
Right?
We start right away.
Right. So we're gonna mute this channel then, or
So here's what I'll do. I'll move you guys out, and then I'll move you. I'll give you guys some time to talk. I mean, if you don't need it, I'm just going to do it anyway, right? And then I'll pull you back in, and we'll launch. Once we make sure that everyone is in the game, have you guys done the whole like you go with your captain like 10 kilometers away or whatever? I guess we could say 8 if you really wanted to do that, and then start from there. You guys all know how to do that?
Yes. I think so.
Okay, so basically, as soon
we should
as
be good at that.
as you guys do that, and make sure chat is open because I don't think it opens by default, right? Because that's how you'll say when to start. And it'll be Tor and Blazing will just say each, when you're ready. And then I think Tor has this, or Toucans has the higher seed or the better seed, so they will say it first. And then whoever won the last round says it first. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll give you guys a couple minutes just to talk, and then I will bring you back into here.
we can just mute Discord.
Yeah, I'll just
Okay.
mute Discord.
So if anyone's watching, this This is the first match of our 3 versus 3 tournament for 3.1. We don't have any big streamers this time, so I'm going to do it, and it's going to be complete amateur hour, with like by no commentary or useful information at all. It's just going to be watching them do it, and hopefully, like maybe give an idea for other teams that haven't seen it yet how this is going to work. And this is the first one we're doing in squad battle, and the first one we're doing 3 versus 3, and the first one we're doing with specific ship. So it's a lot of new stuff happening. So it's going to be kind of rough. I'm going to have to keep track of the timer now, which is also new. Give these guys a couple more minutes to talk out strategy, because it seems like every single time we go into a game, people like to take their time starting out, which is fine. But in squad battle, there's a clock, so we don't really, getting everyone into a lobby is the hard part here. So we want to reduce the time wasted in game as much as possible. But if you need it, players will take it. So I think everyone watching probably knows what's happening already with the ship selection. So we're enforcing kind of a strict, I don't know what you would call it, fleet or whatever of ships assigned, just because it's a little bit more interesting than having everyone in Super Hornets or everyone in Sabres or whatever the best ship is that we would allow. People would just take it and it would be kind of flat. So there's hopefully some strategy here, and that's what I'm really interested to see, is how these teams work around having only a Vanguard and a Gladius and a Hornet. Looks like both teams are going to have the regular Hornet, although it's kind of open in the rules to bring any Hornet variant you want. I mean, there's minimal differences between them right now, especially with the the flatter armor values. But looks like the Paper Hornet is the Hornet of choice for these guys. And it's definitely the strongest ship of the group, so I think what you would expect to see is the best pilot in the Hornet. So Tor for the Toucans and Vicarian for the Straight Out of Grimex, I think is the name. I forget which one is which. Instead of PM here. Those jolly little pilots. Oh man, it's so embarrassing. All right, so let's switch over here. So it looks like we're going to stream this game. This is Toucans versus Jolly Little Pilots, and then we will do Straight Out Grimhex right after this. Let me move everyone back. If they're ready. You guys need more time? Or you good to go?
We're good to go.
Oh, no,
We're good to go.
good.
Okay. Good to go, Tor?
Yep.
All right, I'm going to launch. And I'll just keep you in here until everyone's in, and then we will do the same thing with the channels. Oh shit, and maybe I should have joined as a spectator. It doesn't matter.
Just fly into the boundary or something.
Yeah, that's what we've done in the past. Because I don't think spectators can really see a lot in terms of like teams and stuff, but
All right, I'm gonna mute Discord.
yeah, I'm swapping everyone. If something goes wrong, send me PM. Alright, so I definitely fucked up by not being spectator, maybe. I hope it doesn't get in the way too much. Apologies if it does. Should have flown a cooler ship. Alright, so Vicarian and Tor in the Hornets. Then we have, who's in the Vanguard? So Box is in the Vanguard. The Toucans, Lundy, and the Gladius. Gladius is kind of a weak ship right now, and that might be a conservative way to put it. But because it is the primary ship in Squadron 42, and because it gets the most attention from CIG in terms of new features and whatnot, whenever they come online, it's kind of like the prime ship of the game. So I wanted to get it in the tournament, and it kind of makes sense: light, medium, heavy. So right off the bat here, wasting very little time. Oh, yeah, this is kind of nice to actually see the ship status. You probably can't do that as a spectator. So the focus, it's hard to see who's being focused first. So typically what you need to do in a 3 versus 3 is have someone go down first or focus fire somebody. It looks like Tor's getting focused for the Toucans. And maybe Toucans actually are spreading their fire out, but it might be on Maverick. So the Vanguard. So the Toucans are going for the Vanguard strategy, and Jolli little pilots going for the kill the Hornet first strategy. So yeah, these fish are lasting a little longer, like I said earlier, or maybe I actually didn't. If you're not aware, the 3.1 is kind of a rough patch in terms of. Oh, there we go. So yeah, the Vanguard went down for the Jolly Little Pilots first. So who are they going to second? I assume the Hornet. Yeah. The Carrion now getting focused. And actually, this one's split off on its own. Is it Gladius versus Gladius? No, Gladius versus Vanguard. Okay, so that actually would buy them some time now. If the Carrion can survive a little bit and the Gladius can take down the Vanguard, that would even it up. Nope, but the Carrion is going to go down. These things tend to snowball, I think. With the focus fire, that's the whole idea. So it looks like I should really got a piece of paper for this, huh? Toucans are going to take round 1 here. Now it's a best of 5, or I should say first of 5, which is best of what? 11. So yeah, okay, Toucans and Jolli, and that's round 1. And it's probably 3-zip. There we go. Yeah, and again, if you haven't seen this stuff, you reset after each round. Like you get a new ship. We're not quite to the point yet where we can use the in-game given modes like squad battle to actually have a competitive match, just because of the way the scoring works and stuff like that. It was worse before with pickups, but they've taken some of the pickups out. Notably the repair one and the missile one. Not that we allow missiles in the first place. But it's getting closer. Maybe in the next tournament will be just straight squad battle for 20 minutes. It's a little bit awkward with the timing, because it starts as soon as people load in the game, right? You don't just like click a button and start. So it's kind of tricky to make sure everyone gets in there in time, and the load times are fast, which is kind of a, I don't know if I want to give that advantage yet, but for now, rounds are kind of an artificial way to do it. But I think it's the most fair, and I think it replicates a little bit of what you would see in the real game once it's out in the in the universe where you only have 1 life. It's a little bit harder, it's a little bit slower, but that's why we do it. I'd like to maybe get squad battle to a point where it is round based and we could just natively do it. That would just be ideal. But for now, this is it. So we saw on that one, Maverick went down first. So the Toucans went for the Vanguard first, and that strategy paid off for them. Jolly pilots weren't able to get any kills on that. And I mean, that's not atypical, I think. If you get 1 down, then it's going to snowball a little bit. And that's fine. I think that's, the best that you can kind of hope for in terms of fairness in the match situation. In the actual PU, you might not pick a fight if it's even anyway. So maybe if I get above this comm relay or whatever it is, it'll be a nice middle point. All right, so Hornet up front. They're like, okay, so I like this strategy from the Toucans. They're getting the Vanguard in there first because they know that the Jolly pilots do not focus the Vanguard first. Kind of draw some fire or like sit in there a little bit. And I don't know if that was the goal here, but both the Vanguard and the Gladius from Jollies are on their other Toucans Vanguard, which gives time to focus down the Hornet from the Toucan, which is the key ship here, I think, in terms of what a lot of people think. So two 2-on-1s happening. Now the Jolly Pilots won that first one, getting on the Vanguard. So now it's a 3-on-2 for them. And if my icons would stay in focus here, I assume they're going to go for, they're going to go next for Tor in the Hornet 3-on-1, although this guy's probably blacked out. Yeah, PS Maverick, or maybe the Vanguard is way slower than I thought. So it's effectively a 2-on-2 right now. So yeah, judging by the indicators, they are all on Tor right now. Ooh, I didn't notice that. I apologize for that. Vicarian went down. Didn't show the kill notification for that, did it? Maybe. So back to 2-on-2. Tor taking a lot of hits right now. Shields down. Typically the Hornet dies from the nose. It takes damage to the rear just because that's the area that, I don't know, takes up most space. So Toucans are going for the Gladius. So Tor's going to get out of there, leaving was that Lundy by himself. But they're not. Yeah, they're not worried about him. They're going to stick on Tor. Or did they split up? No, they're both still on Tor. Yeah. So he's lost a wing. He's lost a lot of firepower. And see, the nose now is red. That's what you got to worry about in the Hornet. That's when you're close to death. The wing or the rear wing isn't really doing much for you. The body of this Gladius is taking a ton of damage. Now, I should have commented a little bit more on the weapons. I'm not exactly sure which ones they have. Okay, so the Gladius goes down, leaving the Vanguard. That's going to be probably it for Jolli Pilots in round 2. Tor was pretty close, but I think the Vanguard has a lot of trouble because it has that larger, slower turning radius. There we go. It's not looking good for them. But this one, at least they got the kill. They got close. Like Tor's almost dead there. So not a complete wipe. These teams are closer matched than it might seem. 2 Toucans. And that one was a 3-1. Okay. Now where did they go? Yeah, I really should have saw what weapons they were using first. That's my bad. No, we did ban the Pyro. We banned the size 2 Tarantula and the Omnis. So I would expect to see repeaters. I know that Tor and Lundy both tend to use gimbaled weapons, and they still like the size 2 Omnis. Now, I don't know if they have it on there, but I did see some blue. And oh, okay, damn it. So Lundy crashed out. We're going to restart that. We got 2 down in about 10 minutes, which is not bad at all.
Keep killing you.
Sorry, guys. Lundy crashed out, so we're restarting. You guys got that?
Yeah. My client crashed.
Yeah.
Okay, now,
it's okay.
Lundy, when you rejoin, will you be back in the lobby? Or do I have to
We
kick you out?
might need to restart the lobby because there's a ghost Lundy in here.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll do that. Everyone just leave that one.
Yeah.
And I assume, so in some patches, Dying Star had issues with, memory. Is that fine in this patch?
Seems
Doesn't affect.
Yeah, I was only using 3 gigs.
Yeah,
Almost 4.
I was using barely anything.
Okay, then no problem. I'll just get you invited back in here and we'll launch. Just use chat. I'll move you guys down so you can talk strategy in the meantime, okay?
okay.
Okay.
All right. And it wouldn't be a SC4 tournament if there were not issues with getting in the game in the first place. So if you're just coming in, 2-0 Toucans versus Jolli Pilots. Second round was pretty close there. And I am not a super good commentator, nor do I have any nice overlays. And I probably should be doing this on the SC4 channel too. But this is what you get. Astro kind of disappeared on me today. Let's try that again.
Focus on core.
You guys get the invites?
You got it?
Pay the guy online.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. There's no box invite, but yeah, I have to press buttons.
Yeah, I just press the button and it's there. So left bracket.
Okay, cool. All right. I'm just talking to no one now. Okay, here we go. So yeah, in case I didn't go over that either. So the Jolli pilots, obviously Australian. They're in the North American bracket just because they have better pings in North America than Europe, and there weren't enough teams in North America. It's not enough people playing right now. I think 3.0 really wiped out a lot of players just from paying attention, and everyone made it in. That's good. 3.1 is marginally better, and the reason we're having a tournament for 3.1, even though it's not perfect, is at least now it's possible to have, like in 3.0, you could just evade tank or whatever you want to call it forever, and it was just a huge hassle. Much better now, even if it's not great for mouse pilots, it's at least possible. So we want to try to do it. You know, the game's never going to be perfect, right? I think if we're doing a tournament for an alpha game to a certain extent, that's dumb, and you got to expect problems and be okay with that. Problems like this, for example. Oh, okay, so Astropub's doing a podcast, yeah.
I think there's a ghost blendy in there, so we need to exit again. Malagos. Sorry.
No problem. No problem, I got it. So what's the workaround here? You gotta switch your ship. What did I miss? Box. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, so we split the tournament into two groups, North America and Europe. Main idea there was I wanted to be able to schedule games throughout the week, just kind of on their own time, because I wanted people to play more games and have like more of a week feel maybe, but having one giant tournament bracket on one day is just a lot, and I want people to have games. Really, that's the idea of this whole thing. Really, it's not who wins. It's practicing and kind of nice setting of team versus team. So the groups will play kind of a round robin style. Right now we have 3 teams in North America, so that's 2 games each, and then Europe has 4 teams. They haven't had any games yet. It's the first game of the tournament. And then after the 2 best teams from the group stage will advance to the playoff round, which is a single elimination bracket tournament. All right, so round 3 starting here. Looks like Blazin is up front with the Jollies. Then we have Box, followed by Taurus. So they're putting the Vanguard in front. But they're staying a lot tighter now. You want to do that in a 3 versus 3 as much as possible. Kind of stay close to each other so you can support each other. And typically, if you're getting focused, you would, either evade or kind of run away, but not too far so that your players can't catch up. So this time they're going for the Gladius first, and that's quick. Yeah, right off the bat. Ooh, but then they swapped right then. Okay, so basically they swapped Gladii, yeah. That was, okay, that strategy seems to be working off a lot better. The light fighter can't take it. But the Jolli pilots were able to get down the Vanguard. I'm sorry, it was not the Gladius. I forgot Box was in the Vanguard. Alright, so they have a long way to go on tour here. The Carrions taking a little bit more damage. Yeah, it seems like they're both going for the Hornet second. Tor's doing a bit better job of getting out, I think. Oh yeah, enjoy that blur. Well, he's taking some hull damage, but his shields are still mostly up. So I'm seeing some repeater. Is that the Vanguard? Yeah. Okay, so they switched to Lundy now, I think. More unless they've. Alright, so Toucans get the second kill, leaving just Vicarian or FPS up the Vanguard. So that should be round 3 for Toucans here, unless a miracle comes out. And again, a 3-1 result in terms of kills for the Toucans.
Contact.
So basically, this is just a cleanup phase, and this is part of the reason I have a timer on here. Now, we haven't passed the limit yet or even gotten close to it. But, if you're in a certain ship and like a Gladius, you could just run away a lot. I don't know if it really could in this patch, but theoretically. 3, Toucan.
Contact.
So they're able to get that first kill, and then they're able to partially get Tor down, but it's not enough to push them over the edge there. Like, they swap the first kill. Jolli's pilots got the Vanguard, and then Toucan's got a Gladius first. Now, I don't know which one is the better strategy. Maybe the pilots are just better, but it seems to be working for the Toucan so far. Take out the Vanguard. I don't know that Gladius can really put out that much damage. Vanguard probably could quite a bit if you're not, if you're not aware of its presence, you're not evading its fire, it would take you down super quick. Obviously, the key is the Hornet. It's able to put out the most damage here, especially for the Toucans. Tor. So if the Jolli pilots want to switch this around, I would say they have to get him down first. Like, that's where most of their damage is probably coming from. I should have saved the scoreboard from the other match, but I believe it was similar, and that Tor was getting most of the kills. I assume most of the damage on top of that. Now, he can evade if he wants to. That's the trick. If they can land their shots and get him down fast, even if they lose their own Hornet, I think they'd have a better chance than kind of splitting their fire up or taking down the Vanguard first. Because I think at this point, you're down 3, zip. You just want to change up strategy a little bit. And it's first to 5, so they have a couple more chances here to get it to work. So we'll see. Maybe this round, just for kicks, I will focus more on the Toucans. Just kind of see what their strategy is. It's a little bit tricky when you're by yourself and you're so far away from the fight. Like, I don't want to get in the middle of it and disrupt it. One of the main reasons for using squad battle instead of free flight, like we have in all previous tournaments, is that you can target enemies now, which is a lot easier and more natural than players are used to in the actual SB and BR even. And you cannot do that when everyone is the enemy, so it's a little bit nicer. Again, the downside here is a clock ticks down, so it for a normal match, I think it would definitely take at least a couple of squad battles. These guys are going pretty fast, but I think it's still about 5 minutes a round. Once you get a little better. Okay, so they're going to lead in again. Yeah, Box goes in first with Vanguard, and then Tor, and then just the Gladiators might just be slower or vulnerable. So, yeah, focusing this time on Vicarian and the Hornet. These guys are chasing down. I assume that's Tor. No, that's Boxel. They decided to focus the Vanguard first. I've gotten a little bit closer to the action, which is kind of nice, actually. Okay, so it doesn't give you the kill notifications all the time. That's another issue with this patch. Like, they'll still be targeting him even though he's dead. So Vicarian went down first there. Now they're going to switch over to the Gladius, and they leave FPF. They leave the Vanguard for last. They're not really concerned about the damage you can put out. They're basically, Box and FPS are just keeping each other busy while Tor and Lundy do work. So there we go. That is a clean round 4 for Toucans there, without losing a single ship that time. So 3 zip. Yeah, so we'll get this one done, unless there's like a miraculous comeback here in 2 squad battles. There is a possibility of a draw if there's 2 ships left and they just can't kill each other. If they don't want to kill each other, then force a draw. I guess you could do that. I'm fine with that. But these guys aren't settling for that. I think for that to actually happen, you'd have to have like a swap right off the bat. So 2, 1 kill, make it 2-2, and then maybe you separate those into 1v1s. That's how I think a draw would happen. Or if you had one person like in a Gladius who's just really good at evading. No, my radar is totally broken. Great. All right, so they're resetting for round 5. So I guess there's a slight handicap or penalty against Toucans because I'm in the match and they'd have to swap through me just to get the other guys. But because they're winning, I don't feel so bad about it. All right, so they're off for the last potential round here. This is a game match. I don't know what match point, I guess you'd say. So this time, Blazing going to take it up front in the Gladius. Let's see who Toucans switch their strategy at all on this one. They've been going for the... So yeah, again, Tor comes in second, and they try to focus him, but it seems like they swap off of him shortly afterwards. So Box going for the Vanguard, so they want... Yeah, okay. Tor going for the other Hornet. So Hornet re-Hornet, I think, is just kind of straight up, and then really maybe the strategy is what you do with the other 2 ships. Lundy, I assume, crashed there, or maybe he did get killed. I missed that, unfortunately. So Tor by himself in a 3v1 because Boxel kind of swung out there a little bit. This is where they do it. This is their chance. This is what they need to have. Like, this is an ideal circumstance for them, right? 3 ships on Tor. Now Tor, arguably one of the best, obviously one of the best bots, maybe the best. Does not go down. He gets the kill. So now it's a 2v2. And can the Gladius... Oh man, the radar is like in and out. It's terrible. So he's going for the Gladius. Again, the Box is going to stay on the Vanguard. Tor on Blazin. Or is he going to swap back now that Blazin's evading? Yes, he is. Yeah, switch over to the Vanguard. So they're both on the Vanguard on Toucans. And the Jolli pilots are, okay, swapping now to the Vanguard. They both appear to be on the Vanguard. Yeah. So can they get boxed down? They could force a 2v1. Now, I wouldn't want to be trying to survive against Tor for 5 minutes, but they could win if they have 2 alive at the end of 5. There you go. So it's 2v1 now. Trick is, it's a Hornet versus a Gladius and a Vanguard. So shoot, when did that round start? All right, so that's probably going to be it. Tor was able to get in a 2 versus 1 situation, get down the Vanguard. So Gladius is not going to hold up to that kind of fire. It's probably going to be match Toucans here. Yeah. So I think we're going to have another match right after this. I will keep streaming, I guess. Again, if you're just coming in, that was the first match of the tournament. Toucans beat.
I mean, the rapars were just raping us.
You guys, good game.
Good game.
Good game.
So yeah, they're going to take that.
GG.
Fucking
GG.
gimbaled rapars. The rapar,
So I think
man.
Actually, I don't know how Lundy died though. Like
You flew into me somehow.
he said I killed Randy for some reason, and then wait, what?
It was a decent collision, that old bug. Good games, guys.
Good game.
GG, guys. The fucking Gladius is so useless, honestly.
They need to fix that acceleration for sure.
Oh my goodness.
It would be so good if they fixed that multiplier. It's so slow.
So what weapons were you guys using? I forgot to ask that. I did.
I was using
I
Panthers.
use Panthers M6.
7A.
M7.
Big burst.
This is fixed pirate against game of pirate, so massive difference.
I had to use fixed. No fair.
Oh.
I really wanted to use gimbals, but hey, gotta do what you gotta do.
Aww.
Oh,
that was fun. That was a lot of fun, guys.
Yeah,
Guys, go ahead and take a second or two or a minute or two to talk about strategy, and then I will start things up. Or are you like good to go? Because usually what happens is you go in and then you talk when you're in, but just talk now. Yeah.
Yep, no problem.
Okay, I'll give you a couple of minutes.
Let's have it down packed though, I'm guessing. You guys know your shit. We were literally just like, fuck it, let's just have fun. Figure out what we do on the day.
It was getting close. I think that was the second or third round.
Yeah, I mean, the A-Pars are still like pretty damn strong. And knowing you guys with the mouse keyboard, you're going to be like just bullseyes.
Nagos, are you online right now?
Say again?
Are you online?
Yes, I am. I'm not sure that I have Tired Out added. Let me do that really quick.
I have you, but I don't
We're
see you
fighting-
on my
We're
list.
fighting.
Game crash. Nice.
Actually, you have me added.
So who playing first?
I think we're versing Grimmax dudes.
Okay.
The Corin's guys.
Yeah, I think we're scheduled to fight them tomorrow, from what I recall.
I did not have him.
Ah,
Yeah,
fair enough.
just watch the stream and you can gauge their tactics.
Oh, there's a stream?
I think Malagos is streaming.
I am streaming, but it's very sad and it's
30.
not,
Oh, you
it's
were
not
streaming?
professionally done. I just streamed it from my point of view, yeah. Okay, so I
Yeah,
got you guys added. I will start doing invites in a second here. Or they just left the channel.
Yep.
You post the stream anywhere?
It's a tournament discussion, maybe? I didn't do it. I don't know.
I would have sent it to a bunch of people.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
Did you guys want to play them after this? Like Toucans versus Straight Outta Grimhex?
We had them scheduled for tomorrow, I think.
That's fine. It might be better because there might be a streamer around. So if you don't want to, don't worry about it.
I don't care personally, but
It's a bit late here. Better tomorrow would be better for me.
No problem.
all right.
All right.
Well, good luck, guys.
Alright, cheers.
Thanks.
Good here.
Thanks for the match.
You too.
Why did I invent Karun? It's not him, is it? It's Red.
Invite sent. Well, we are against familiar people. Well.
It is Karun, Tired, and Red. Okay, where's Red?
Are we? Oh.
I'm doing the invites.
You
I
wanna swap?
gave them a minute to talk about strategy. Do you guys want another minute?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think we're good.
Guess so.
I'll give you
guys
guys.
wanna
I'll give you
swap
guys a
ships?
minute. I'll give you guys a minute. I'm gonna move out of the channel so they can talk privately if they want. See if they change their strategy. So obviously Toucan's pretty good pilots. To a certain extent, it just comes down to skill. But there is some strategy to it. Who are you gonna target first? Who's gonna lead your ships in? Oh, there's Red Room. Maybe switch weapons, switch who's in what ship, that kind of stuff. So it looks like on the Gladius, Lundy was taking APARs just for the sheer upfront alpha strike damage, I guess. I don't know what team I should stay on first. Now, these are all guys in HW in my org, so it's like, it's like choosing which is your favorite child. It's tough. I don't know. I mean, there's already so many different Korins. I don't know if we need another one, so who cares about him? All right, you guys are good. I'm gonna wait for Blazin to say something. FPS Matter. That's just not a very original name. Okay, here we go.
This won't be very.
All right, I'm just gonna put you guys in here. Are there any last rule clarifications you guys need? You guys are all pretty smart.
No, we're good.
No,
We're good.
All right, so I'll launch in and separate you guys out again. So good luck.
Good luck.
Just
Have
remember to open chat.
Good luck, guys.
Good luck, have fun.
Not me. It would have been easier for me to move myself, but that's too easy. Okay. Problem is I have Twitch chat on another channel, so I have to look over there, Porky. Don't worry, whenever the 11th hour is gonna, if I'm the one streaming that, God help you all. I'm just kidding. Yeah, none of the EU teams have scheduled a game yet because they are, I don't know, let's roast them. Lazy Europeans, maybe? Too many days off. Alright, so I didn't have open chat as I should have. Who had the top seat? Fuck it. I guess they figured it out themselves. Okay. So Red leading the charge here in the Hornet, Curran in the Gladius, Tired Owl in the Vanguard. Did they make any changes on the other side? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, Vicarian again in the Hornet. move it just a little bit here, maybe get a little bit of a clear picture. So the pilots are going for Red Roam first, and again for the Hornet, most important ship there. What has Straight Outta Grimhex gone for? They gotten a shield down on a Vanguard, and they haven't touched the Gladius, and they haven't touched the Hornet. So Red's going to go down in that Hornet first, which is what they want. Right, get the Hornet out of the way, and then basically just mop up the rest. So they're switching to the Vanguard second. Wait, who died there? Sorry, I missed that. So the Vanguard went down. They got they got that focus, and now it's 2-on-2. Vanguard's getting focused. It's gonna go down. Leaving a 2-on-1. Now how do they look? The Gladius took a lot of damage there. Blaze took a lot of damage. So it's if they was able to get him down, it might be kind of close. But Gladius versus Hornet is not looking good. Gladius versus Hornet and Gladius looking worse. For Straight Outta Grimhex here. Porky, put that in chat or something so I can write it down. Like Discord chat, real chat. So Curran able to stay alive here. It's not going down easy. So one of the complaints about the Gladius was that it was pretty weak in terms of maneuverability, especially for like a light fighter. It wasn't really there. And I'm not necessarily disagreeing with that. It's just that he's able to evade fire pretty well here and keep himself alive. Now Corrin's obviously, a solid pilot. He's able to get out, get some evasion taken out of that thing. I'll give him until about 15 minutes on the clock, and then I'm gonna call it a 5-minute round or a fight. Yeah, that's what it's at. So, wow. So I'm very impressed here. Corrin's able, against the fire of 2 ships, severely injure a Vicarian in the Hornet. He's got the fixed loadout, yeah. So maybe, I think with ESP changes right now, it's much better to have fixed just because it will aim for you a little bit. With the way the head shake works and IFCS issues, trying to aim with a mouse is just a disaster. So I'll give him another 50 seconds here, and then it's going to be, if Corrin's doing a great job surviving and landing shots on Vicarian, but he has to, at least kill one of these guys. Now, this better strategy for him might be to go for the Gladius, right? Because he can force a tie in about 30 seconds. And, salvage the round. But if he just tries and fails to kill this Hornet, he's just wasting it. He's going to, there you go. Okay, so I just ate my words right there. Gladius v. Gladius. Yeah, I'm going to call it tie. I mean, I guess I could let him fight it out, but that's not what the rules are, so. They started pretty quickly. I guess it's not the full 5. But, so yeah, they're going to draw that. That's a really good fight there. I mean, Straight Outta Grimhex probably would have won that if I let it go longer. I mean, they effectively did, but just the rules are 5 minutes, and that's how we're going to do it if I pay attention to the clock. So that was a draw. So 2-2. So that was a good comeback there on Straight Outta Grimhex, especially when they lost the first ship. You think it's going to be it, but it doesn't always mean that. Contact. So they're having I think the pings are going to be tough coming out of Australia here. So they'll get a draw. Now that's going to count in a tiebreaker situation. But it's still about, winning those 5 rounds first. Yeah, okay. I'll get the replay right up there. As soon as I have the cool graphic that actually shows you what the score is and all that fun stuff. So if you're just joining us, this is the second match in the 3 vs 3 tournament for 3.1, hosted by the Star Citizen Competitive Combat Club. We do a round-based game where the players square off about 10 kilometers away from each other, and then they fight until everyone is dead, and then they respawn and continue. So it's not like continuous respawn like you'd see in a normal squad battle, because the game's not quite at that point yet. This is what we are. That's where we are. So we had previous match. The Toucans beat the Jolli Little Pilots, who are the team in green right now. 5-0. 5 rounds, 0 rounds. So this is our second match here. Straight at Grim Hex in the red. Both players in AHW. So they know each other really well, play each other with, all the time, that kind of stuff. So maybe a bit of a grudge match, I don't know. We'll just call it that for ratings. Thought they just say that just to make it up. Alright, so again, the Hornet goes down first. Straight at Grim Hex. Jolli Pilots know to focus that first. But Carrion also getting focused. So if Grim Hex can get him down, get 2-on-2, Karuna seems to be doing a really good job in that Gladius, or they're having ping issues, hit registration issues, whatever it is. The Vanguard is going to go down instead first. Yeah. And that's going to leave Karun by himself, which started that at what? We'll say 13, so we'll give him until 8 to kill Corrin. He is taking fire. Shield's still up. Who is he focused on? The Carrion, I assume. Kind of see. Yeah, it's Carrion. So Karun able to land shots while evading. Like they mentioned in chat, they're having some trouble hitting Corrin. I mean, that is Star Citizen in a nutshell right there. But they should be able to finish this 3v1. And that would give them the first round win out of the 5 they need to take the match. Yeah, I would not disagree that it's hard to hit chips this patch. Unless Corrin's able to when the timer runs out, it's the number of ships alive. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter which ship or how much damage they take. There you go. So they got a 3-0 on that. To take their first round win of the tournament, actually. So they'll reset here. So both these teams going for the Hornet first. Not a ton of difference between the first and second rounds. Different strategy than the Toucans had. Think of taking on the Vanguard quick or whatever. But once the Hornet goes down, that's a big blow. Corrin was able to salvage that first round. To a draw. But typically, I'd expect the loss of a Hornet to be about it for a team. Alright, so this one's going to start at about 9 minutes. Give them to 4. If it goes to that again. So FPS kind of off by himself a little bit here. Okay, there's fine to him. As Corin leads in Gladius, that he knows they're having trouble hitting him. Tired Owl might get focused first because I think he actually ended up going ahead. Now he's going to swing wide. These guys are going to give themselves a little bit of space here. Maybe try to make a play. Oh shit, reset. Okay. I was not paying attention to chat. Like that's my job as the official or something. Where's the comrade?
Contact.
Alright, so we'll say they're going to start at 7. 7:30. Blazing out first. Who's hanging back this time? Is that going to be Red? No, I thought Red would take a step back since getting focused first. Maybe lead in with the Vanguard and the Gladius. Curran definitely lead it up there, but tired off to the side a little bit. Red Rum, again, getting focused really early, having trouble evading that Hornet. Grimhex, again, going for the Vanguard first. Well, Red goes down, yeah, and then that's going to leave them 2-1. So they're not able to, like, really get much damage on before they go down. Oh, I missed that one, actually. So 2-2. Or no. Wow, I'm really bad at this. No, 2-2. Yeah. Corin, tired. Okay. Tired goes down the Vanguard, so that's going to leave just, what's his name? Carrying by himself. No? I'm so bad at this. I'm so bad at this. Another 2v1 situation, I guess, is developed with Corin. They're all in the same org, guys, okay? It's really hard to keep track of who's on what team. They're all the same.
Contact.
So can Corin conjure up another draw here if he is able to get down Carrion? Should have enough time to kill. Oops, I don't want to do that.
Contact.
So he's taking some damage. His shields are still partially up, but starts seeing red. That's not great. Now it does depend on the part of the ship. Like I said, the Hornet tends to go down from the nose kill. I haven't been fighting enough Gladiator. There you go. Okay, so they're going to win that 3-1. So
Contact.
Gelato Pilot's able to take 2 rounds now. They need so because there are less than 5 minutes left on the clock, if they want to reset, no problem. If they want to just play, with the round with an artificial limit on it, we will do that. Yeah, okay. We're going to reset. Wonder if this is going to work without having to reset the lobby. That would be amazing if it did. I guess this is also a chance for them to reset ships and loadouts, and that's fair enough. Can't really enforce that. Can't go up to each ship and make sure they're using the right weapons. Thank you, Blazin', yeah. Bug where you don't change your ship, you have a black screen. I just learned about today. So, straight out of Grim Hex, despite their amazing name, is down 2 rounds. Still chance to come back here. They've been close. It hasn't been a complete blowout, and in fact, the first round was a draw. So technically, it's actually 2-0 to 1. Win-loss draw. Draws just going to matter for tiebreakers. I think it's like the second tiebreaker after head-to-head for the first round. Now, 2 teams are going to the playoff from the North American group. And there's only 3 teams in the group, so it shouldn't be that hard unless each team beats the other team in kind of a ring. That's when you actually have a tiebreaker, I guess. Let's reset here. I guess this is actually round 4, but only 2 have actually had a win. At least my radar is working. Okay, so they're going to start off here. Corin up front. They're going to have Vanguard off to the side a little bit here. Let Grimhex come to them, I guess. So the range is tired out. He's taking shots from a little bit of a distance. They've struggled to get the first kill. I don't think it happened yet, actually. So they're focusing Vicarian. They had not been able to get him in time for Red Rum. And okay, so they actually were able to do it that time. Now Red Rum went down immediately afterwards. So it's Gladius Vanguard versus Gladius Vanguard right now. As far as I can tell. So tired out on the Vanguard, taking hits for Grimhex. Jolli's pilots. Looks like they're going to go on FPS Maverick. So the Vanguard's being focused right now. I think they're just having too much trouble hitting the Gladius. Gladii. That Latin knowledge. Tired Out's going to go down. So Jolli is again up 2-1 against Corin and the Gladius. The clock would be about 15 just because the first one's hard doing it for the 5 minutes. If he's able to stay alive, take one with him, he would force another draw. He's going to stick on the Vanguard. I think the Vanguard, the plan was, I don't know how much this actually plays out in practice, the Vanguard would be able to lay down a lot of firepower against like a Hornet or a target that's not really paying attention. Now, the Hornet's actually pretty maneuverable, and the Gladius might be less maneuverable than that. But the idea here is the Gladius can kind of pick on the Vanguard, right? Light would be to heavy, but a heavy would be the medium. Medium would be light. Kind of the chain that we're going for. Corin's going to switch back over to the Gladius. He's got 2 minutes to get a kill and not die to force a tie. If you can kill them both, that's great. But I think when you're in this situation, you're down by yourself, maybe get one to overfly, wait for one to make a mistake, get too far from his ally, and then, force him down. Now, part of the trick here is that they're having a tough time hitting Corin, maybe because of latency issues. Obviously, the game itself, IFCS problems, not helping that either. So if he doesn't get a kill, it's going to be a 2-1 in terms of ships alive. And he has another minute 15 to do it. So there's the mistake right there. There's his chance. Maverick either blacked out or overshot. I don't know. He had a little bit of distance there. Okay, and then he was able to get back in and kind of re-engage. But we're in down to less than a minute to get something done. I'm a little bit rough on the clock, but that's just how it's going to be. Because I am juggling a lot of balls right now. $20 seconds. I should probably give them a clock. That would actually be fair. More fair. All right, so that's a 2-1 result. So JLP can win this in as little as 2 rounds. They're able to continue their strategy of getting red down really fast. Now that time, Stratogram Hex was doing pretty solid to start there. They were able to get Vicarian first, so they traded Vicarian and Red Rum, which is a pretty good result. But then you're relying on the Gladius and the Vanguard versus Gladius and Vanguard. Now it seemed like Tired's having some trouble staying alive when focused, and that's kind of leaving Korin by himself. We've seen that a few times, a few rounds. He's doing a pretty good job of staying alive, but with the Gladius doesn't really have the firepower. That's part of the idea there is, a light fighter. That's what it's supposed to do, and we're kind of seeing that in this match a little bit. I wasn't really good enough commentating to recognize the strategies in the first match as much and see it. What the Gladius was doing. It seemed like similar situation. I don't think Gladius went down first, really. So now we're seeing, I think, a little bit of Gladius going in first. We're still seeing the focus on Hornets for both of these teams first, and that's what I would think is going to be your strategy. And that's going to leave kind of an interesting fight, Vanguard Gladius. Like, that's not something you expect to see in the current AC. So I like to see different matchups like that, especially when Gladius is such a prime ship in the game. Vanguard, the only heavy fighter we have right now. So Red Rum's going to go down here. Let's see. Carrion's doing much better than he was last round. They must be switching. No, there's so Tide's going to go down, leaving Korin again. That started, I don't know, we're going to say 13, so 3-on-1. He's not done as well in a 3-on-1 as a 2-on-1. Obviously, it's going to be hard to evade fire. I mean, even 2v1, like, it's way harder than 1v1. But under these circumstances, the patch with IFCS. Easy just to dodge in general. So you can be able to take out Vicarian under fire from 2 other ships. He's like getting some distance. So Vicarian is running a little bit or backstrafing a little bit here to keep his nose on Korin, but that's leaving his slower allies behind a little bit. And FPS Maverick has swung way out. Like the Vanguard is not a quick ship by any means, so it's not going to be able to keep up with these 2 lighter fighters anyway. So I know it's hard to keep an idea of where your allies are in 3-dimensional space. It's not an easy thing to do. So Carrion's kind of getting away, but then he does make his way back. Okay, that's good flying on his part there, I think. I found it's very hard to hit someone they're kind of evading you directly. But if you come in as a third or second or third party, and you get them at an angle where their evasion is not as severe, right? It's not 90 degrees to you. It's a lot easier to land those shots. So you're not, if you're fighting someone, if you're Vicarian, you're being, face to face with Korin. Really, what you're trying to do is set your allies up. I think a lot of pilots in the game are used to 1v1 fights. Trying to kill the guy you're looking at, not necessarily trying to bring or work necessarily with your allies to let them do the work. But you basically want to, just give them an assist, or however you want to put it. Set them up for the shots at sacrifice of your own, if you can. That's what I would say. I'll give them a minute warning at 10, so I'll cut this a little bit short, but like I don't know if it's going to be. Yeah. Okay, so he switched to the Gladius, got him down, got him running away. He's going to switch back to Vicarian. Where is he? I mean, he had the shields off blazing, but they got him back. He's dead. He must have blacked out, or yeah. Okay. So Jolli Pilot's going to take round 5 for their 4th win. They just need one more to win the match. That was 3-0. So looks like Vicarian, every time they've gotten a Strategem has gotten a kill, Vicarian has been in that group. And I think that's the right idea. I think Tyred's having some trouble staying alive in that Vanguard. Like, but part of the idea here is we're switching up ships, right? He might not be used to it. People might not be used to the Gladius. I think most people are probably used to the Hornet by now, unless they're solely flying like a Saber or something, which is too strong of a ship to be allowed, I think, in the tournament. Like, ideally, I would have done 3 really good ships, right? As long as they're different, though, like Hornet, Saber, I don't know, maybe Gladius was better. If we had that, that'd be pretty solid, and there would be some difference there. In this patch, the Saber is extremely strong, I think mostly because of ICS issues, but also because of components a little bit. The Hornet hasn't really, CIG hasn't really kept up with the number of shields and power plants that it should have. I feel like, and obviously armor has just been completely washed out, like it's the same for every ship. So you're not going to get any differentiation there. So it's mostly like the flight characteristics and how much firepower you can have. To a lesser extent, I think, how many shields and power plants and things like that you can have. But the Saber has just has beaten them in everything except for maybe firepower. And it's just kind of a broken ship right now. So that's why we have the Hornet. And the Hornet in previous patches has been the standard fighter. So it makes sense to have that in here. As kind of the standard medium. I think it was the first we had the initial line of ships was the Aurora, the 300, and the Hornet. So the Hornet's been around forever. The Gladius, although newer, gets the focus from CIG. It's the kind of the primary ship in Pledge 42. And it looks pretty cool. So I think that's like part of the reason that it's the ship, even though it's a light fighter. And it also is relatively affordable compared to some of these other, what's the Saber now? 165, 170. That's like a lot of money for people. A lot of wreck even. So the Hornet, kind of the go-to ship in this tournament. And I expected to kind of show, or highlight some of the issues with the Gladius. It's not doing that bad. The Vanguard, on the other hand, I haven't seen much out of the Vanguards yet. So let's just look how quickly Red goes down. So that started about, we'll say 7:30, just for whatever. Jolli Pilot's doing a great job, I think, of focusing Red down, getting him out of the fight, because Red's not a bad pilot by any means. He's a great one. One of the most active and strong pilots, I'd say. So the Vanguard goes down for Jolli Pilots, but they're able to reply with Red Rum. Of course, I say that as Tired gets it. So Tired Owl in trouble here. Who's taking hits? Is it Vicarian still? Yeah, so they're trying to get Vicarian down, and the Tired Owl goes down again, and this is the 2-on-1. So he's got, what did I say, 7:30 until 2 minutes, 30 seconds to get something here. This is for the match, essentially, so he needs to force at least a draw if he can. If he can get Vicarian down, he's got time. He's got basically 3.5 minutes to do this. So he's kind of the secret weapon in that they're having a tough time hitting him. And maybe it's unfair because it's latency or whatever, but we just have to deal with that, right? It hasn't actually been a problem because they're winning. They're up 4-0, so Corin has to get, I would say go for Blazin, but no, what am I saying? Vicarian. is half dead already. .3 minutes. He's got 3 minutes. The Carrion's been able to get his shields back up, so he's getting out there. So he's going to switch back in time. He's lost a wing. I think that's going to be one of his weapons, which is a third of his firepower. So he's in a lot of trouble right now. He almost had the Carrion. He could have. I mean, he almost had this round. Like it seems, 2-1, and they're not going to. They're going to look okay with their shields up and everything like that. But he was, an inch away from killing him. Red cockpit, shields down, losing his main wings. If he would have closed that, he probably could have taken out Blazin and gotten a win or at least a draw. So even though it's 2-1, shields up, it was not that severe of a difference. Two minutes left in this round. Can he pull it off? I mean, I'm rating him off maybe a little bit too soon here, but you're not supposed to do that as a broadcaster. I don't know these things because I'm not really one. So, I mean, I see the chat. I could get closer in, but I don't want to interfere. Like, it's mostly for them. No offense. Like, I don't give a shit. You guys can't really watch it really well. It's mostly about the players. It's for the players, by the players kind of a deal. So 1v1. I'm give them the 1 minute warning here. Gladius versus Gladius. Corinne has almost got that one round. The first round, he was able to get in the similar situation with Blazin. And he was able to kill him, but like 10 or 20 seconds after the buzzer. So this is going to go to another round here, probably. Oh, Blazin crashes into the side of a rock. That is going to be a round. Grimhex. Let's read out of Grimhex is their full name. And that was a 2-3. So. We're going to have to reset the match. There's not enough time left on the clock. For sure on that one. So yeah, I'm staying out of it so they don't target me on a mistake or that I get in the middle of something and they like think that I'm in there. Now, even if it only costs them like a second or two of delay because they target me or they get confused with the indicator that comes in there. I don't want to be in that system. I don't want to force errors like that. So 4 rounds for the Jolli pilots. They need 5 to win. 1 round for straight out of Grimhex, and 1 draw. Just make sure they're probably chatting, talking strategy. Let me actually get my PMs. Idiot.
Doing what I do.
You guys good? Just making sure. You can take your time, but
Quick question: are we allowed to switch loadouts?
yeah, you can switch loadouts, ships, whatever you want.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. So breaking news from the field. Looks like they're going to be changing ships up in between squad battle. I don't know, matches. I don't know what you would call it. I mean, yeah, at this point you're down 4-1. They are able to get some stuff done with Corn at the end there, and whenever they get carrying down fast, or in that case it was FPS down fast, and kind of have a 2v2, they're doing pretty solid afterwards. Looks like Corn's going to stay in the Gladius. I can spell it out, I promise. I just don't care. just drew on myself with a pen. God damn it. Yes, spectator is still shit, Jan. Can't see, like, what the ship status is in terms of shields. I mean, not that you really can anyway right now. It's okay, but sometimes it will show shields when there's none. And ship status and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I could try to get closer. Maybe I should.
Aegis combat assist activated. Systems green.
So what was the switch up there? I mean, I assume they changed loadouts at least. They actually changed ships. No. Oh yeah, look at that head shake. I'll breathe. So I think this is the last match of the night that I have for these guys. There would be one match tomorrow. I want to say at same time. Was it 9 Eastern, 7 Eastern, something like that? Check the tournament info channel for that. One of them did get moved today. This match got moved to today. The Jolli Pods versus Grimhex. So ignore that one. So yeah, I'm going to go for the little bit closer. Wait a second. Karian just joined? What? Oh, I guess we're going. Are they... Buggy shit here. Okay, so FPS getting focused. Oh, this is... Yeah. Corinne leading, Red Rum, and then... I assume... Yes, FPS getting the focus on that team. Who's taking it on this one? Red Rum again. So Jolli Little Pots has done a pretty solid job with taking Red Rum out first. And then struggling to get Corinne. That's been the story of this whole match. So they've broken off into like a 2v1 here. Red Rum by himself versus, is it the Gladius? And the Hornet. As FPS gets focused himself and kind of runs around. So, switch to Vicarian from Corin. Tired now, taking some shots from Blazing, yeah, he's going to. Okay. So all 6 alive, although Red is in big trouble here. He's going to go down. So JLP again with the 3-on-2. FPS Madrick might go down here to force the 2-on-2. And then who's the target for the Grimhex team? Corin again is going to be it. So it's Vanguard. Who can get the Vanguard down first? If Tired can stay alive here and get the 2-on-1, they have definitely a good chance. Or 2-on-2. Excuse me. They're going to let Vicarian go this time. I think that was a mistake. Vicarian has been dying relatively quickly. Tired, or Red has died. He just kind of ended up back in the fight. He's not actually playing, but there's a respawn timer where you can't help it. You come back. Did I miss Tired Out's death? No, he just kind of blacked out and went. Yeah, he went out, leaving Corin himself. And Corin has kind of been the clutch player here for the Grimhex guys, so not great. But 3-on-2, all 3 of the GLP guys on Corin. Tired gets swung out again. I think losing an engine. I apologize. Not his fault. He can't stay close when you have one engine on otherwise now asymmetrical ship. But I guess Corin has to play around that. Maybe stay as close as he can. Tired's just gonna sit still because he can't. Yeah. So Corin's got to know that he's gonna be aware that Tired is unable to stay with him, and getting drawn out by yourself. I mean, you're obviously at a disadvantage here, right? Like you have a bad situation, but he is getting fired on by 3 people. Right, not great. Not a lot he can do there. So that's going to leave Tired Owl up. That's going to be probably a immobile ship with 3 ships firing against it. It's going to be a 3-0 for the Jolli Outta pilots. They're going to take this round. Okay, 5-0 or 5-1-1. That'll end the second match. 5 rounds to 1 round and 1 draw for the Jolli Outta pilots over the Grimhex. Straight out of Grimhex, whatever.
Oh,
What are you using right now, man? Hey, guys.
I'm so
good
sorry,
game.
Tyler.
GG, guys.
No,
Goodbye,
dude,
guys.
that was. I was just there. I was like, "Fuck, that's it. I can't do shit." Like my engine's done. I'm just spinning in circles. Good.
I was literally behind you, so he crashed into the tower. So I just sat behind you, started shooting at it. That was hilarious.
Good game, guys.
That was
Thanks
really fun,
for
guys.
playing.
Yeah, good
Good
match.
So you guys, what time is it tomorrow that you're scheduled for?
7
7 Eastern.
What?
Okay.
Eastern?
Yeah.
Cool. I will try to be there for that. There's a chance I won't, but you guys know what you're doing. I'll try to have some official there, but you know, the hardest part is like just remembering when the round started, so you go the 5 minutes. And it did a couple times there, and I apologize. I should have given you the 1 minute warnings. But
the first one was so close. It was like what?
Dude, it was like 10 seconds. I was so tilted.
I basically just said, at 15 minutes, that's going to be 5 minutes. So
We were like, yeah!
That was cheering so hard.
The fucking rock. I was like, no. It's like, fuck. Fucking rock. Fuck you.
Alright, guys, so on the stream,
all the entire
I think that's all we have for today, but there is one tomorrow at 7 Eastern, and if I'm not streaming it,
pretty tired of that one.
hopefully someone else will be streaming
Yeah,
it.
you guys fought a lot of matches.
And we'll see you then.